So do you think it's
Okay.
moral to use sentient? Do you think it's moral to use sentient beings without their consent?
Yeah. Can you define sentient for me?
Yeah, it's someone experiencing the world, weighing out their experiences, whether they enjoy those experiences or they don't. They prefer to be comfortable. They don't want to be uncomfortable. They have the capacity to feel joy or suffering.
Is that capacity equal amongst all sentient beings?
Yeah, sentience is like a binary thing. You either are or are not.
So,
Oh, you muted yourself. It wasn't me, I swear. Oh, Coop, you left us.
There. Oh, he's
I got
here.
a call. I'm
Oh,
sorry. So,
oh, okay.
so would you hold it like a human sentience to the same standard as like the sentience of a fly?
Well, sentience, like I said, is binary. So yeah, they're sentient, but there's obviously varying levels of intelligence. So I would say a fly is not near as intelligent as a human. That doesn't necessarily give me the moral option to go after them, unless they're posing a risk to me or, you know, yeah,
Why
posing
go
a
Well,
after
risk.
an
well,
animal?
then there are different levels of sentience if the attributes given to these beings are
No,
not
no,
on
no.
the
I just
same
told you,
level or
Coop. I
extent.
just,
Well, yeah,
I
you're
just,
telling me that's black and white, but I'm just saying that it's not, and I'm giving you an example.
so intelligence has different degrees. Sentience does not.
Well,
So just because someone
I
isn't
said the
as,
attributes
I
of
know you said
sentience.
attributes, but I'm telling you sentience is either they're experiencing the world or they're not.
Okay, sure. I
So
guess
then
I
from
can
there,
concede
it's
to
just
that.
intelligence. From there,
So, all
it's
right,
just intelligence.
right, just intelligence and reasoning. So,
Yes.
which so is there like a symmetry breaker between the intelligence of a great ape and the intelligence of insect?
For what?
Like, is there a difference in intelligence?
Yes.
Does that matter?
For what?
Like, does it like it like to be
No,
exploited?
it doesn't
Is
matter. I don't think we should exploit any sentient beings. None. Even flies.
And Coop, just
okay.
keep in mind,
I
like newborn humans, like babies, aren't very intelligent. I don't think that means we should use them and
well,
exploit them and eat
it
them.
would be the capacity to like of the intelligence that's within the baby. It's not going to be the same as an insect.
Well, what about a baby with a mental,
Well,
you
again, it's still
know,
a human baby. That capacity is still there. It's just not present within that specific baby. So, like, just like if a woman's infertile, that ability to produce life is still there. She particularly just can't give life because she's infertile. That capacity is still present.
Okay, so the point is, even though this baby who is mentally alterly abled, and you still agree that it's immoral for us to exploit them.
Yeah.
Okay, so then what
So,
is the
I'm
moral
sorry.
difference between that baby and the animals that you use?
Oh, I don't have like a moral justification for why I exploit animals or anything like that. But I
Oh,
did want
that's
to know
what
how.
that's what we're
I,
talking about here.
yeah, well, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm not. I didn't want to like. I'm not trying to sway you from positions, and I'm definitely not going to be swayed from mine. But I wanted to know how
Well,
you're
that's
getting
why
from your
we're
is to
here.
your odd. Yeah, I just want to know your moral justification for why exploiting a sentient being is wrong.
Because they're
Like,
sentient. Like, why is slavery wrong? Because someone is having an
well, yeah,
experience,
I know,
they
I
have their
know.
own purpose,
Right.
and
So why is
they
it? What I'm asking is like, how are you getting from it is to a ought? So like, it is wrong to exploit these animals, so we ought not to do it. Why is that?
because they're sentient, just like you. Why is it immoral for me to use you without
Well,
your consent?
do you see how sentience isn't convincing enough for someone that's not vegan to become
Why
vegan?
is it immoral for me to use you without your consent?
Well, I don't think we were talking about my moral framework. We're talking
I'm
about yours.
asking you, why is it immoral
I don't
for
know why
me
it would
to
be
use
immoral.
you? I can tell you.
Yeah, that's
It's
what I was
because
asking you.
you're a sentient being experiencing the world. You have your own purpose, and it would be unfair for me to push my purpose onto you that you wouldn't naturally do on your own.
So where are you getting this idea that there's a purpose from?
Can you tell me why human slavery is immoral?
There's multiple reasons why. It could be relative. It
Tell
could
me
be
why. Tell me why. Tell me.
because unjust harm is wrong.
Unjust harm. I can go with that. Okay. Is it moral for me to kick dogs for exercise?
It can be, yes.
It can be moral for me to kick dogs for exercise.
Under certain frameworks that can be moral. I'm not saying undermining.
Give me one framework. Give me one framework where that's moral.
Oh my god.
This is an innocent dog. This is an innocent dog. I'm kicking them for exercise for my benefit. Innocent dog.
I could just hold to a world that we're kicking dogs if you plus $100, and that's just better.
So you think because everyone else is doing it, it's moral now?
Hold on, I just said within that world, yes, not within the reality.
I'm asking you, Coop. I'm asking you. Can you think for yourself? Can you think for yourself? Can you think for yourself?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
so if you were in that world where everyone is making money from kicking dogs, would you kick dogs?
And like as me in this world, no, I wouldn't do that. But if I was in that world,
in
I
that
would.
world, with this current mindset, and you were in that world.
No, I just said no. I wouldn't do
Why? That. Is it because you're causing unnecessary harm?
Because I'm under a different moral framework and not within that reality.
Coop, can you please listen to me? I'm talking about your moral subjectivity. Your opinion, not society's, just you. Why is it immoral for me to kick dogs for exercise?
For my current worldview, my current position in moral ethics. So
your moral perspective.
Yeah, I just that's not going to produce the best outcome for the most people, I would say.
This is for me, just me. Well, I'm kicking this dog for my exercise.
I thought you just asked.
Is this moral in your opinion? No. Is it moral for me to kick dogs for exercise in your moral perspective?
No. In my moral perspective, no. I just said because it wouldn't produce the best outcome for the most amount of people.
But it doesn't matter. I'm doing it for me. I don't care about everyone else. I'm doing it for me.
Okay, then why are you asking for my own personal position on it then?
Why is it immoral for me to kick dogs?
I just told you in my perception, it would not.
It's not because the dog would be feeling suffering.
That could be entailed within. It's not the best outcome for the most people.
What are you talking about for the most people? It does great for me, and it doesn't affect anybody else. It doesn't cause them any suffering.
If an outcome is the best outcome for you,
I understand what you're doing here. It's not the point that I'm making. There's a sentient being. You could make the same argument for human slavery. Human slavery benefited those that weren't enslaved. It brought down the price of goods, brought down the cost of labor. It made goods more available to those that didn't have them before.
I agree.
Should we have human slavery again?
No, I don't think we should. I don't think I ever.
Why? Why not? But it can benefit the most people. It can benefit the most people if we had slavery.
I would disagree with that.
Why?
Are you asking why I would disagree? Why slavery?
Yeah. Why would you disagree with that?
Because it would not give the best outcome for the most people.
It would bring down the price of goods. It would make goods more available
for a certain small demographic.
For the majority, we don't need to enslave the majority. No, we need.
Okay, then
I'm done talking to you. Blah 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 blah.
Around in circles.
He was way too wrapped up in some weird philosophical,
I know. I was trying to get him to come back to sentience
reality?
as an individual. I know he kept going into best for society, and I was like, well, but I'm doing something in the privacy of my own home. Why is that still immoral? Because it's not the best thing for all of society. I do things all the time that aren't the best for I wash my own dishes, right? Is that really helping the rest of society? No.
A stupid argument.
I don't really understand what he's saying. We don't do everything for the best of society. I do things for me and those that are close to me for the most part. And then outside of that, you have those circles of things you care about, right? The closest, and then the middle ring, and then you got the outer ring. Why would you think about society first?
Is that what you would call, they call them Phil bros?
Yes.
They've learnt this new philosophical idea.
I usually try to tackle that with in your moral framework, because I'm not talking about why do we all feel this way. I'm talking about them individually, and I feel that most people share the same principles as us. They think that unnecessary harm is cruel and immoral. Most people agree. Most people don't want to have their own bodily autonomy violated, and they understand that I want to live my life. I have my own purpose, and I don't want you to force me to do something. yes, we are forced to do things, and in some ways we are exploited, but animals aren't even considered, like their consent isn't even considered. Whereas when we're exploited, at least we have some say. We can leave the job, we can move, we can do something. Animals are stuck in their situation. They have no choice. They are literally enslaved.
Mm.
So that's, I try to reach to people through their own moral compass, because I don't want to be
don't have a moral compass. That's,
and those people I'm not talking to. I don't think I don't think I'm the one to be able to reach them. They still need they're still people. They still need someone to talk to them that can reach them, but I don't think I can reach everybody, unfortunately.
No, and I don't think everybody's ready to hear, like, to have themselves challenged. I think everyone should remember that we all wouldn't be the people we were today if we never changed our mind about anything. That's what growth is, and don't be afraid of that.
Yeah, exactly. I think you hit the nail on the head there. It's really about fear of change, because most people, I do believe that most people are somewhat logical. I do think most people are against unnecessary oppression and exploitation, and if they could avoid causing it, they would. It's just there's a lot of other things going on. A lot of people have now politics mixed into it, sadly, and they've heard all these arguments that are sadly misinformation, and I feel like that's a lot of what we have to battle, people's misunderstandings of information that is out there. I try to tell people to go out and look on their own, because I am just a TikToker. I'm not a professional in anything. I just recognize animals are sentient. So
I don't think you have to be a professional to have a discussion with people about what you believe is right. But it is very confusing. We've all grown up in this world where we've been taught that this is just something we do. We just eat animals. We use them, eat them. That's normal, and it is scary to challenge that and challenge the masses and the majority, and come to a conclusion that is sort of against everyone.
Yeah.